Hello students. So today we are starting with a new chapter. It is your ninth chapter, Credit in the Financial System. In the class of 8th, you have read about different types of accounts in the bank. You may be aware about to know that people borrow money from the various sources, like from where they will borrow from the friends, relatives, money lenders and banks, etc. The agricultural laborers they usually borrow the money from their employers and work for less than market wages. All the different kinds of the credit arrangements are a very important component of the financial system of our country, and it will play a very crucial role in our country. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about different aspects of the credit system. So what is the first different aspect in this? The bank deposits as money. So modern forms of money include currency, paper notes, coins and bank deposits. You read about them already in the 8th about this. So banks will accept deposits and also pay an amount as interest on the deposit. For example, we have deposited some amount of money in the bank. So the bank will pay the interest on our deposit amount. So in this way, the people's money is safe in the banks and also they can earn the interest. People have the right to withdraw the money as when they require. So whenever we need money, we can go and we can withdraw from the bank. Since the deposits in the bank accounts can be withdrawn on demand, these deposits are called what? Demand deposits. So what is demand deposits? The demand deposits it will offer many another interesting facilities. It is this facility which lends in the essential characteristics of money. It means that of a medium of exchange. You have read about payments being made by the checks or by electronic means instead of cash. Instead of cash, we use the electronic machines like ATM. So, since one can withdraw money in cash or make payments by check, it makes the deposits work like any other form of money such as currency notes. Since the demand deposits are accepted widely as a means of payment along with the currency, they constitute money in the modern economy. And you just remember the role of the banks play here. So here the role of that banks will play here. But for the banks, there would no demand deposits and no payments by checks against these deposits. The modern forms of our money, currency and deposits, these are closely linked to the working of the modern banking system. This entire system is supervised by the government, the Reserve Bank of India, so that the promise made by the banks to honor withdrawals in cash or payment by the check is always kept. The government has to ensure that people's trust in the money kept with the banks in the form of demand deposits or as a fixed deposits. Fixed deposit is always maintained and their money is available for use and accepted by all. The Reserve Bank issues the guidelines for this system and it will examine its working so that the people's trust is maintained constantly. Similarly, the government has to ensure that the supply of notes and coins is in adequate amount and in good condition so that the people don't face any problems in the currency being when they used according to their requirement. Loan activities of bank. So what are the loan activities of bank? What do the banks do with the deposits money which they accept from the public? What do they do? There is an interesting mechanism. It will works in the bank. What is that? The banks keep only a small portion of their deposits as cash with themselves. For example, banks in India these days hold about 15% of their deposit as cash, and this is kept as provision to pay the depositors who might come to withdraw money from the bank on any given day. Since on any particular day only some of its many depositors come to withdraw cash and the bank is able to manage with this cash. This is how the banking is started because banks all over the world found that they could keep their promises of paying cash and on demand by keeping only a small fraction of the money in the cash. Why people require credit? So compared to the past, the people needs for credit has increased. This may be due to the variety of reasons. It may be in agriculture practices. Earlier, most of the inputs were supplied by the farmers themselves only. They used their own cattle, and for ploughing they took help for their family members, and for sowing seeds and manuring their farms the new farming practices required substantial amount of cash in the hand. For what purpose? To buy the seeds, to buy the fertilizers, to buy the pesticides, etc. And to pay for ploughing also, to pay for harvesting, hired workers, they have to come. So definitely we have to give some amount of wages to them. The increased availability of the consumer goods in the markets and arrangements for the finance has also increased the variety of credit arrangements. We get a variety of goods ranging from the essential food grains to utensils, the home appliances and furniture, etc. On credit, so they will take on credit nowadays, and the manufacturers and sellers of these goods will encourage the people, particularly those with the regular monthly incomes and having bank accounts, to buy on credit and in the pay in monthly installments. For example, if you purchase a television for 20,000, you can pay 5,000 initially and pay the rest every month over 1 or 2 years. So like this installment way is going on nowadays. The people also borrow money to make the payment of school or college fees or health services. One of the major reasons for the indebtedness is the need to borrow for the medical requirements. As business and trade increases, the people's requirements of loans also increases. A substantial part of the business is financed by borrowings from the various sources. The idea is to earn more than what they have to pay as interest. And how does this work? We would examine this through the examples of given below. Two different credit sceneries. What is that? It is festive season 2 months from now and the shoe manufacturer all has received an order from a big trader in town for 3,000 pairs of shoes to be delivered in a month's time. To complete the production on time, Ali has to hire a few more workers for stitching and pasting work. And he has to purchase the raw materials. To meet these expenses, all obtain loans from two sources. First, he asks the leather supplier to supply leather now and promises to pay him later. Second, he obtains a loan in cash from the trader as advance payment for the 1,000 pairs of shoes with a promise to deliver the whole order by the end of this month. And at the end of the month, all Ali, so the person is there, Ali is able to deliver the order, make a good profit also, and repay the money that he had borrowed from the two persons. A large number of transactions in our day-to-day activities involved credit in some form or the other. The credit is nothing but loans. They refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with the money, goods or services in return for the promise of the future payment. Ali borrows money on credit to meet the need for working capital for the production. The credit helps him to meet the ongoing expenses of the production and complete the production in time and thereby increasing his earnings. Credit therefore plays a very vital and positive role in the situations. Swapna, a small farmer, she will grows what? A groundnut on her 3 acres of land. She takes a loan from the money lender to meet the expenses of the cultivation, hoping that her harvest would help repay the loan. Midway through the season, the crop is hit by the pest and the crop fails. Though Sapna she will spray her crops with the expensive pesticides. It makes little differences. She is unable to repay the money to the moneylender back, and the debt grows over the year into a large amount. Next year, Swapna takes a fresh loan for the cultivation. It is the normal crop of this year, but the earnings are not enough to cover the old loan, previous loan. She is still caught in debt. She has to sell a part of the land to pay all the debits of amount. In the rural areas, the main demand for credit is for crop production only. The crop production involves considerable cost of the seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, water, electricity, repair of equipments. There is a minimum span of 3 to 4 months between the time when the farmers buy these inputs and when they sell the crop. The farmers usually take crop loans at the beginning of the season and they will repay the loan. Repayment of the loan is very crucially dependent on how good the crop was and subsequently the income generated from the farming. If we see in Swapna's case, the failure of the crop made loan repayment impossible. She had to sell part of the land to repay the loan. Instead of being helpful for Swapna to improve her earnings, the credit left her worse off. This is an example of what is commonly called debt trap. Credit in these cases pushes the borrower into a situation from which recovery is very painful here. In one situation, the credit helps to increase earnings and therefore the Ali is better off than before. In another situation, because of the crop failure, the credit pushes the Swapna into a debit trap. So here we have discussed about the two situations. In one situation, Ali has a good profit and repaid. But in Swapna's case, she got crop failure. So that's why she won't able to pay the money back. Whether the credit would be useful or not, therefore, depends on the risks in the situation and if there is some support in case of loss. People also require the credit for consumption and to manage many socio-culture activities. Marriages require a huge expenditure and both bride and groom inside with compel families to borrow. So like this all the expenses will be there. Terms of credit. What are the terms and conditions of the credit? Every loan agreement specifies an interest rate which the borrower must pay the lender along with the repayment of the principal. In addition, the lenders may demand collateral security against the loans. If the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or it can obtain the payment. Properties such as land titles and bank deposits, gold are some common examples of the collateral used for borrowing. Collateral is nothing but it is an asset that the borrower owns, such as land, building, vehicle, livestock, bank deposits, and uses this as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. The Shivakami, she is a teacher. So, she has taken a loan of rupees 5 lakhs from the bank. For what purpose? To purchase a house. The annual interest rate on the loan is 12% and the loan is to be repaid in 10 years in monthly installments. She had to submit the documents showing her employment records and salary before the bank agreed to give her the loan. The bank retained the papers of the new houses as collateral which will be returned to Shivakami. Only when she repays the entire loan with the interest, then only they will return to her. So, the interest rate, collateral and the documentation is which is requirement and the mode of repayment together comprise of what is called the terms of credit. The terms of credit vary substantially from one credit arrangement to another. Depending on the nature of the lender and the borrower, the terms of credit vary. The next section will provide the examples of the varying terms of credit in different credit arrangements. So, in this chapter, till now we discussed about what is credit in the financial system and what the bank deposits as the money and the loan activities. What are the loan activities of the bank and why people require credit and two different credit scenarios and the terms of the credit. So, in next class, we will discuss the remaining topics of this chapter.